Alright, so I know I'm a little late to the party on this kind of thing, but uh, I'm pretty sure everyone's talked about it already. Top grossing. There are some controversial things that I do want to talk that have been talked about during this little pseudo 3 day period where obviously everyone's already happy with the amount of stones that they've gotten from both JP and Global. Global specifically has been oh my god, notoriously known for the way that top grossing has been given out. So just to give a little context, I'll bring up the JP side as well. Essentially, the way that this works is top grossing on JP whenever what do we call it? Whenever JP reaches number one on the App Store and or Google Play Store, they get a total of 30 to 100 stones. Normally, this would happen if JP Dokkan reaches number one on both global on no my god on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You get 100 stones. Simple enough. For global, however, usually when you reach a certain amount of countries, you get 7 stones per country. In some cases, whenever Global and JP do reach number one on this at the same time at certain major celebrations, usually like Golden Week or the Worldwide Celebration, they get about 35 to 100 stones somewhere around there. Um, Things have changed a bit, and as you can see, both Global and JP did manage to get 50 Dragon Stones and 35 celebration tickets and a lot of orbs. Kai's, oh, slots, character slots. Oh, we don't, okay, there it is, yeah, right there. And a lot more, of course. Now, what's interesting is that, of course, global does take a little bit to actually calculate how many countries have gotten number one, even though it's not really kind of obvious, but not really. They do take a little bit longer. And on top of that, they did change the criteria. So, like I said before, for each country that Global reaches number one in terms of the App Store or Google Play Store, they give out 7 Dragonstones. Cool. This is now different. So, whenever we reach. Let's actually read this first. So, along with the unification operation schedule, the criteria for distributing first place rewards have been adjusted starting this time. So, starting from a couple of days ago until now, or a few days ago until now, or in the future, the criteria has been adjusted. So we can only get 50 Dragon Stones when the international or global version achieves first place in 3 or more regions. 3. Sometimes when a character is not great, we don't even reach 3 regions. Usually we reach about like 2 at best. So if I remember correctly, France is the only one that reaches number one just because of how heavy Dokkan, how strong of a Dokkan player base is over there compared to us. Well, it's sort of like getting all the characters and trying to reach number one. It's actually pretty easy for them. Usually we get 7 Dragon Stones per top per top grossing. Sometimes I think Hong Kong is frequent. They don't do it like every release of a brand new unit, but it's pretty frequent if I remember correctly. So it's just these two that are prominent. Every other country like United States, sure, we're trying here. So I feel like if you wanted this to work, I feel like it should have made it more clear for JP as well. Because I understand, right? The international version has its own things that has to release. We still don't know when AGL Journ is actually coming. We still don't know when Master Roshi is coming, and so forth. I think there's some other units I haven't even touched upon yet, but we still don't have those units, which I'm pretty sure when they release, we have to meet those criteria if we want to get those top grossing stones, which I don't think we can, but we'll see. The thing I don't like about it is the fact that we have to reach at least 3 or more regions for first place. That's just the one thing. The regions were, blah, 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 blah. The regions were where first place achieved will be counted separately. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't read it down here, but yeah, it's counted separately, which is stupid. I feel like it shouldn't be like that. I feel like JP and global should be counted as the same thing, really. So if JP reaches number one on the app or the Google Play Store, that's counted as one country. And then we can try reaching number one in some other countries, and then when they're counted together, we all get 50 Dragon Stones. It's not that hard. I think it's because JP was released first, and then Global came out after. I think that's the reason why they're separate. Plus, like I said, units have not been released on the global version yet. So we have to see how they're going to spam these units out, even while they're releasing new units for both global and JP. That's the one thing I kind of don't like about it. It's just that, they're counted separately and you have to reach 3 or more regions. It's sometimes I've had issues with top grossing. Usually I'm pretty lucky. Sometimes I'm not. This is this is just criteria based, so I think the criteria is a kind of bit, well, depends on how doable it is. I assume it's doable depending on celebrations and units that are being released. But all in all, it's really dependent on what they release. Like the worldwide celebration, for instance, right? They did a really good job with these units for Broly and Super Saiyan Trio. Both units are amazing. That's the reason why we got number one. Is because one, it's a Dokkan Fest LR and a Carnival LR at the same time, and two, it's a really big celebration for both Global and JP. And also, it's the fact that this is the first celebration where they're actually gonna start doing unified content. Yet, well, it's not the first time they've done unified content, but it's like the first time they're gonna start with it and then continue on with that same process for both Global and JP. Will I be okay with this kind of thing? Well, let me see what this says. I think this is just let me... Oh, this is just, well, well, this sucks. So it just really depends. Are you kidding me? The regions where first place is achieved will be counted separately for Google Play and the App Store. Oh, that's... Come on, guys. Really? Well... Well, here's the thing I do want to ask, right? What happens when Global and JP reach first place at the exact same time? That also includes for both Google Play, for the Google Play Store and the App Store. Well, it's the same exact thing. I'm thinking about it right now, and I think it's still going to it's going to be a delay between giving rewards for Global and JP because that's just how it is. I remember back in the day when Global and JP reached number one at the same time, we get like 100 Dragonstones straight up. I think it was from previous worldwide celebrations, if I remember. I think sometime in 2019 is when 2019 and 2018 is when it happened. I can't pull those up right now because they're so far away, like 5, 6 years ago at this point. It's insane, like how far we've come, and the criteria for top grossing is just weird. It's still weird at this point. We'll have to see what happens with part two. And if part two does pretty damn well and it shows that we still have to reach this, then I'm not gonna complain. It's not really too hard. It doesn't seem too hard to reach it. But if more than 3 countries do reach it for global, do we still just get 50 stones or do we get more? Because I know from the experience, and a lot of global players can say this from experience as well. 7 dragon stones per country. So if 3 regions or countries reach first place, but then other regions get first place, do we get more rewards from there? They don't technically imply that in here, which means I can assume we don't. Especially right here, it says first place in 3 or more regions, you get 50 dragon stones. I can understand why. I can understand why they don't want to give out extra stones. But like, we'll see. 50 stones is pretty good though. 50 stones is a full multi. I can take that with no complaints. But all in all, I just want to talk about this just to give my thoughts on it. Pretty good idea, but not a good idea at the same time. I'm just gonna leave it off right there. Let me know what you guys think of this. I say it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting concept right here of trying to give pretty interesting criteria, is what I should be saying here. But just let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.